Hello and welcome to Thought for January the 22nd. Our readings are Genesis chapter 37, Psalms 39 and 40, and Matthew chapter 24. And our thought is sun, moon and stars. In both our Genesis and Matthew readings today, we have reference to the sun, moon and stars, and in neither case are they to be understood in a literal sense. The context makes this evident. In Genesis, Joseph has a dream and tells his parents and brothers about it. Behold, I have dreamed a dream. Behold, the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars were bowing down to me. Chapter 37, verse 9. His father has no doubt as to what the dream symbolizes and says, "Shall I and your mother and your brothers indeed come to bow ourselves to the ground before you?" And his brothers were jealous of him. But his father kept the saying in mind, we read in verse 10 to 11. Our minds move forward to the time of Mary and how she kept the sayings about Jesus in her mind and in her heart. We're told in Luke 2 verses 19 and verse 51. The jealousy of the brothers is the trigger that creates a sequence of events that leads to the fulfillment of his dream. Another example of how God weaves in the actions prompted by human nature to bring about his purpose. It is also the way he oversees the character building of those he is calling to serve him. In Matthew 24, Jesus says, "The sun, moon and stars will be a sign of his coming." The time of great tribulation comes to an end, when the sun will be darkened, the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken, we read in verse 29. And while we do not exclude a possible application in some physical sense, the saying has an application to a total crisis and collapse of Earth's ruling powers. The earth, that is, the people on earth, will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send out his angels with a loud trumpet call and will gather his elect, we read in verses 30 to 31. As we see world governments more and more in crisis, and financial matter may be a major factor in this, as people and nations worship money instead of God, let us remember these words and build up our faith in these words, because we cannot have faith in human beings. But we must not be like the foolish virgins we will read about tomorrow. Well, thank you once again for joining us for Thought for the Day, where together we can open up the pages of God's Word, knowing that Word to be a lamp to our feet and a light to our path.